All right, good morning, everyone. Futures here are higher right now, and we had an epic 7-point dip off of all-time highs here on the E-mini. And the melt up continues here. So you can see we have just a huge algo buy, ODTE call buying, short covering, all that good stuff, and we're continuing to float higher. Nasdaq has just a little bit of laggard chip here. It's not terrible, but it is lagging a little bit. I am watching SOXL here. I do like this little failed breakdown that I just put in right at the low. So right here, and we just reclaimed that. So we'll see if that gets it going a little bit. We do have SNDK after the close. So that I think WDC too, isn't it? And then another one, I believe. But nonetheless, there we have that after the close, and obviously that'll move the Nasdaq. So we might see the semis in a little bit of a holding pattern until then, but we're still holding up pretty well despite AMD coming in. That actually, it overshot the LG there. Yeah, 495, I think it was. So there was really not any conviction behind that. I didn't actually say that was a good level, but we can see the S&P here, 7,800's on the board today. And you can see AMD, or I'll tell you AMD in a second, but yeah, 720. If we get a dip to 720, I think that's it on the Qs right now. But we'll see how AMD. I haven't even looked at it. You can just see if it's got anything new there. Yes, it hasn't updated the at the money line, but it looks like we're down near like 470. So if it rallies to 500, that's going to be a cap for now. What's interesting to me right now too is we got gold and silver catching really big bids, and I was trying to get into this earlier, just wouldn't give me a dip here, but yeah, massive positive gamma here on Wednesday and Friday's chain. So for GLD there, it's sitting at right up below 385 right now. I'm sure these will explode on the open and exposure. SLV here as well, even has 60 on the board for Friday. It doesn't have to go there, but it's up there, and it's a supportive flow here. So dips should get bought. So I think you can buy. I've been getting this question like every day. I think you can try and buy these. I think you can try and buy it here. Yeah, I mean, it's up a lot here. I mean, look for, I don't know, maybe the hourly 20 MA or something. If it gets there, or if it just consolidates. The only thing is, I just hear it. I would prefer it to be a little bit more hated instead of hearing about it every day. But I mean, what can you do? If we get a failed bear pattern, it's always a good, like I said, if this pattern fails here, that's the best, pretty much the best pattern you can get is one that was a pattern that failed, right? So yeah, if that bear flag does not play out, that's going to be nice for gold there. You can see silver as well. I cleaned up my gold chart here. I'll just get rid of the silver. Will clean this up too and reset it. Heck, you can even just draw this back here. There you go. So I mean, it's a pretty good spot here. It's a pretty good spot. If it gets through that, I mean, you can clearly see. Anyway, oil. If you caught the video yesterday, what did I say? What might happen? A little dip and then possible little tail candle. We'll see if that's the case here. I think it will be. But FYI, there are strikes lower on USO for Friday. They're not bigger than 115. It's still LG1 for now, but if it gets momentum, we might be able to see 112, 110. Bit stink is trying to bit stonk, and a little bit of it's trying to peak above that wedge there. It needs a little bit more, needs a little bit more conviction, but it's definitely getting there. And it's hung in there the whole time. You can even draw this out now. I mean, it's really got this line coinciding there too. Yeah, interesting. I wonder if that comes into play later. If we can we have to break out first, but you can start to make a case now even that this is your. See, I have it so this was my day trading chart here, and this is the other one. But you can almost make a case this is actually. So I was looking at this as an inverse head and shoulder, right? Like this kind of structure. You can make a case that this is the actual structure now, and that's an inverse head and shoulder there. So interesting. We'll have to keep that on watch too. Let me draw this over here with this guy here. So a lot going on there. What else? Yeah, gold and silver pulling back a little bit. Bonds hanging in there pretty well. TLT at 83. Yeah, I think that's it for the week. Well, let me check it because I don't want to say that and then they have been again squeezing a lot of things lately, so we probably should make sure we're not just assuming it's going to hold. So yeah, see, there you go. See, 83.50 now is on the board. So that's for today. So let's make sure we check these levels here when we're in this type of market. 83 is still LG for Friday though. So yeah, Bitcoin miner. How are let's take a look at GDX. Yeah, that's a good sign, right? That's a good sign to see that up $2. It's up like $3-4, yeah. So that's good. The CGDX. And by the way, remember we talked about this for. I mentioned this for a while. I haven't talked about it recently, but I'm just kind of looking at this really quick. Hold on. So we got like a little falling wedge here on GDX too. That's a nice breakout there. So yeah, I'm gonna say you can probably buy dips in this now. Yeah. Hell, you could even draw it to here if you want. I think this is probably better though, because that's where the pivot started. But anyway, what was I going to say? Yeah, so yeah, notice how silver barely made a new low to June 10th to July 17th, or silver miners, right? And we made them like the actual metal made a much more significant low. Same thing with gold, like GD versus GDX. The miners are holding up better, is what I'm trying to say, and that was been a signal the whole way. So anyway, yes, off the highs. I'm not even going to bother adding new supports in here until we actually like. There's so much air. I mean, I can make this like a micro support here. Like this is kind of a micro support there, but there's a lot of air here, so we're not even going to worry about supports there. NQ, however, it's a lot different because we're not at all-time highs. 730 QQQ is on the board. And yeah, that's not that far off. So that would coincide with like right up there. Yeah, so I mean it's going to be up in that. Man, I was looking for this to get filled out. Remember this weeks ago? I said, look, if we get up here, we got to fill this air out here. And the market just does it on its own time. So probably like 30,200, 250 on NQ. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, AMD got bumped. Okay. Yep. Yeah, we got non-farm. Yep, Friday. We'll see how that goes. MSFT hit the 499. Yep. Yeah, I mean like Palantir, that was I had this one for a while with their swing trade service, and we made money on this pop right here. I reloaded it, and then we were kind of out of the money for a little bit, and I was like, I'm gonna stick with it here, and then I saw how it was positioned in earnings, and I was like, oh, this is gonna go. I was like, at worst it's gonna go to 130, and then we'll just have to wait. But I know with this single stock volatility right now, there was a good chance it went to 150, went right to 163. I mean, Oracle too. I mean, so these cloud names have really come back. Look at IGV here. Even the really crappy ones, Adobe, INTU, CRM. So now it's like they're finally working, and now semis are struggling to kind of hold a bid here. JP. That was JP. Yep. 360. That's new all-time high there. Yeah, XLF new all-time high. Yeah, ScamX went to yeah, back to 110. I still don't love it. I still don't love it. I really want to buy it because I know it's going to provide a massive move when this thing bottoms. But I would love to see the yeah, don't buy this thing right now. Don't buy it. I would love to see the shareholders get squeezed. Not because I want them to, but like in terms of if I'm going to buy the stock, I don't want anybody to lose money, but not that they're losing money anyway. They've made so much money off this, but if they had it, they've been waiting 10 years to sell, right? And now, if they flush it down a little bit, do they start panicking? Do they start selling it a little early? Even though they can't get it for 135. So do they squeeze them to the downside? And do we see a flush out? If that's the case, that's when I'm going to start looking. But I need to see the dealer. I need to see the market stop buying puts on this because every time I look at it, there's, like I said, there's put more and more strikes lower, lower, lower. And if that's the case, I'm not buying it. Until I see that stop or until I see there be one really big one and nothing left, once I see that, then I know that's the end of the line. That's where the fishing net is sitting. But right now I don't see it. And I've been looking for it, multiple times each week. But yeah, there will be an epic trade on this. So if you're not in either of the swing trades or the trading room, join because we will catch that. MP earnings tomorrow. Yep. We also got new scam today as well. I do own this, full disclosure, and it looks very strong into earnings. I think at worst it goes back to 9. At best it could see 11, maybe 12. So a lot of resource stocks reporting here this week too. All right, let's see what we got here. Silver, gold coming in off the high. Let me just take a look here. There might be something on if SLV can get back to 55. That might be a spot. In GLD, I don't know if it's going to go all the way back to 380, but that would be where that. I just know that's where the LGs are sitting. Or you could just go off of, you could go off of this, just the futures level. So interesting. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on Bitcoin too. It's hammering on that level. So ESNQ holding up pretty well. We'll see what we get here today. Why is VIX? It's pretty normal to have volatility and shit when you make a new all-time high like that, especially in a straight line. I think if you want to hedge, I'll just say this. I think if you want to hedge with volatility, don't buy puts and do not sell calls, especially on the index. You'll lose everything. I think volatility is where you want to be if you're going to hedge right here. So, all right. Anyway, about 9 o'clock here to get ready to go to the room. You guys subscribe to the channel, do all that good stuff. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com or come join me in the room. We'll have some fun. Anyways, you guys take care, and we'll see you guys all in the afternoon video on Gamma Boy Trade.